Hey, what up? It's Rubin. Do you ever think to yourself, I wish I didn't have such a shy, flat, boring personality? And do you ever think, I wish I could just express myself the way I wanted to and have that unshakable confidence without worrying about what other people think? Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can start to transform yourself so that you can express yourself the way you want and be yourself unapologetically. Now, having that flat, boring personality, trust me, I've been there. I've actually come to name that as the shady actor syndrome. So before we get into it, let's check out this video. I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about.
This is America, land of freedom and law. A man is innocent until he's proven guilty. You have nothing on me.
Oh, I got a lot of shit on you. Now, I'm telling these son of a bitches that we respect the Japanese of this country who are honest businessmen. And yeah, this is the land of opportunity for legitimate business, not for death merchants who distribute drugs to our children through schools and on the streets. Now, I'm telling these motherfuckers that if they continue killing our children to make their precious millions that they deposit in their secret Swiss bank accounts, Counselor, before your lawsuit even gets off the court clerk's desk, I'll have their stinking bodies in garbage bags and ship them back to Japan for fertilizer. Got it? And you too. Excuse me, miss. By the way, what's an all-American girl like you doing with a geek like this? See you around.
So I have no idea how that guy made it on the big screen. But the reason I wanted to show you that clip was because when you see the actor, you can see a distinct disconnection between the head and the body, right? So although he's saying the right words, he's not expressive because he doesn't have access to that energy inside him. Now, the reason, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing here, but so the reason I bring that up is because when you're shy and you're socially anxious like I was, is you come across like that in real life situations. I know I did, just unexpressive, completely in my head, just a lack of energy and just coming across as completely flat and agreeable. So the first thing you got to do to not come across as a shitty actor in real life is you gotta go inward into your body. Why? Because that's where your emotions live, here, okay? So every emotion, whether it's anger, happiness, sadness, they all carry a certain energy, a certain vibration to them. And the more positive ones, they vibrate at a higher energy than the negative ones. Things like joy, the emotion of joy, will vibrate in your body at a higher frequency than an emotion like anger. So it's important to be aware of this type of energy that's flowing through you all the time. So most people are used to being full on or full off with the emotion, right? So I'll give you an example. So I wasn't allowed to express anger in my family of origin. So what I ended up doing is I'd stuff it down, right? Suppress it way down, and I lost access to it. And what ended up happening was I lost the ability to express it, right? Socially or at work, because I knew if it came up, it was going to be full on or full off. For me to deal with just being paranoid of the fact of that coming up, I would just shut it down. The most important thing moving forward though, because if you guys remember, I mentioned that's energy. It's energy, it has a vibration in your body. And you need that energy to express yourself. And when you express yourself with that energy, that's when you start to feel more authentic and expressive. Now, the key though is to get to a certain point where you can only take a spoonful of that emotion, right? You don't want to be full on, you don't want to be full off. You want a spoonful of it, okay? Now, how do you do that? So I want to introduce you to a concept of dual consciousness, right? So let's say you're in a conversation, you're at work or whatever, and somebody says something, right? And because I used to get just really ticked off in my head, the anger was just crazy. So I would just shut it down, right? I'll use anger as the example. So what you can do is you can internally separate from the anger, right? Have it as a part of you internally. So you're both existing inside your body. Now, what that allows you to do is take a spoonful. You have a bit of separation, and you can take a spoonful when you start to express yourself. You don't have to get extremely angry, and you don't have to get extremely terrified. You can get a little bit scared, and you can get a little bit angry, right? So if I say something like, excuse me, it's a bit of anger, but I have the ability to go take a spoonful and then come back, right? And what that allows you to do is to be more balanced and flowing as you're interacting with people. So you might be thinking, like, sometimes I feel just so terrified, or I'm just so angry, and it just takes over my body. Now, one thing that you can do is you can start labeling the emotion, right? So download a sheet of emotion words, feeling words, and when you start to have that anger or that emotion run through you, that energy, label it in your head, anger, and internally separate from it, right? Or say if you become you get terrified, you get frightened, right? You can call that fear and separate from it internally. Now, once you label it in your head, once you acknowledge it, once the emotion's acknowledged, it'll dissipate its power over you, okay? Moving forward, you won't need to have that fear of expressing too much emotion, right? You'll have that spoonful that you need, and you'll be able to have that expressive energy, right? Emotions are all energy, and you'll regain that ability to express yourself, right? So I hope this video helps, and I hope it helps you to not be a shitty actor like we looked at. So if you found this video helpful and you want to learn more, and you want to learn more free tips just like this, what you can do is join my free Facebook group. There's a link to it below the video, and we're vetting the guys. We're making sure that the quality of the group is high. The discussions are quality in there, and you're going to get the help that you need in there. So you're more than welcome to join. I'd love to have you in there. And there's also a free report below the video as well. And it goes into detail about my story with social anxiety and shyness. You can learn more about me, you can read the report, and you can learn about how you can fully overcome it as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, peace guys.